sound fine.
Put my headphones up.
What's up, Brett? What's up? Dan Marino.
Go to our faces here.
The Dan Marino?
The Dan
Emmett
Marino.
Smith is here?
Laces
out.
Uh,
There you go.
yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Looks like
What's
we're
up,
good.
Jeff?
Peeps in the house. Peeps in the house. All right. I think we're just about good to go. I'm going to open my recording software. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for this liveliness. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I guess maybe that just means I'm efficient today. We'll say that.
We'll figure it out. Sure.
Yeah. But, yeah, everything's going.
Cut.
I'm going to go ahead
Just
and...
coming out of my hat.
Your hat.
I'm gonna move my camera down just a little bit.
There you go.
There we go. There we go. Now our
So
heads are
all
near each
eye
other.
level. Yeah.
We do have a hard out, 1:45 our time, so I'll keep an eye on that. I'm rolling. Check, 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 check. Let me know when everybody's rolling.
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 Rolling. Rolling.
Rolling.
Okay. We're going to do a sync clap, which will be 1, 2, 3 clap. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Just keep an eye on your waveform. If you have any issues, we'll pause for the cause. And
Do not disturb 2 hours.
at the beginning, I'm Dave, Matt will do I'm Matt. He'll introduce you, just a quick hello, because I'll go into the spiel. And then at the end, remember, we'll all
He'll
say
say
our
he's
names
Dave.
at the end.
I'll say I'm Matt.
At the same time?
No. No.
Okay.
I'll say I'm Dave, Matt will say I'm Matt, you say I'm Casey.
Casey Hupke.
Just don't want to take you by surprise. But, all right, I think we're good. And we got, I mean, it's Casey. There's plenty of stuff we can talk about. We don't need,
Yeah, we don't have to have anything planned.
yeah, we got some stuff planned in the agenda, but yeah.
Oh, great. I have nothing.
Cool. It's all right. I know we could sit here and talk for like 4 hours without an agenda, so.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Here we go.
24-hour live stream. We should do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. All
Let's
right.
do a 24-hour Cyberpunk 2077 live stream.
Oh.
Right? Is it out yet?
Oh,
On
Wednesday.
the 10th.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
No, actually, the 10th, but technically the 9th comes out at like 6 p.m. Central on the 9th because that was UTC time.
I think you can pre-download it.
You
You
can
know?
pre-download it at
Pre-download
yeah.
it, and then you can start. Yeah.
So actually, Wednesday night is when everybody's gonna get to play it in the U.S.
Hachi
So
machi.
clear your schedule. We should talk about it on the
Alright.
show, though. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get it going.
Let's do it.
All right.
We keep burning all this content.
It's good. It's gold. Solid gold.
Gold, Jerry. All right, here we go. What's up, and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. And joining us today is our dear, dear friend, Mr. Casey Hupke.
Hello.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, topic ideas, guest ideas, artist suggestions. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, mograph.com, TikTok.
Yeah.
Woof. I don't know. We're on all the things.
Send a woof.
Send a woof. And so hit us up, and if you got a very noob comment, we don't judge. We don't judge. Send us
Yeah.
something noob. Send us something advanced, and we'll try and answer it.
Yeah.
I mean, we are kind of noobs, so we'll stick with the noob questions, probably, right?
Yeah, totally.
This
That's
week.
why we bring Casey on to answer all the hard questions.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you guys were bringing me on specifically to go over the grievance emails.
Oh yes, I have a list. Actually,
I
that's.
thought this was Festivus. and
Yeah, I
this
was
is
gonna
the
say it
area
was
of grievances.
Festivus. Yeah, air the grievances. This week it's gonna be a short show. I haven't said that in a while, right?
It actually will.
It actually will be a short show. We got a hard out here, and we've had Casey on before, so there's a lot of things that we've covered with Casey already. You know, in terms of your background and things. So we're gonna get into some other stuff today and do some other fun stuff.
It's gonna be fun.
But before we get really into all of that, I just wanted to do a quick week wrap up here and say that we've got a little bit of the Camp Mograph updates just to kind of put it out there, make sure everybody knows what's going on. We have talked about the dates a little bit before, but we got kind of stepped on with NAB moving to that weekend in October where we were going to be. So we have locked in a date. But we are still watching things, and we want everybody to know that we're keeping an eye, because I know one of the questions is going to be, well, when do I buy my plane ticket? How do I know that we are good to go? So we do have this date, but we want you to listen to, the updates and make sure that we're solid, because we don't know where next year is going. There's, of course, word of a vaccine, and everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows by that time. We'll see what actually happens, and if we feel that it's safe enough, we're going to do it. But right now, it's too hard to know. So.
Yeah. So as of right now, dates, for those who don't know, the dates for camp have changed to September 8th through 12th. 2021, and I'm really excited about those dates because the weather in Portland is going to be fantastic at that time. We won't have to worry about it getting too cold or anything like that. It's going to be perfect.
We might be able to swim.
So we might be able to swim. Yeah, there's a creek there that we can all, go down and swim maybe, so we'll see. If you're interested, go to campmograph.com, sign up for updates and stuff like that. But we do want to give a big shout out to our sponsors who are helping us put it on, who are sticking with us through thick and thin through this pandemic as we've switched dates and everything. They've been fantastic, and we couldn't put this event on without them. So big shout out to our sponsors. First up is Maxon, fine makers of Cinema 4D and other things now, Redshift, Red Giant, and then we've got Video Copilot. Everyone knows Video Copilot, and Otoy, the makers of Octane. And then our gold level sponsors, Minimal Massive, the local Portland agency, and Grayscale Gorilla. Everyone knows GSG, good old GSG, that's where we learn. And then our bronze level sponsors, A Scripts and School Emotion. So big shout out to all of our sponsors. Without them, we couldn't have put this event on at all. So speaking of sponsors, let's hear a word from one of our sponsors right now.
Let's do it.
Hey everybody, one day only, Wednesday, December 9th, you can save 40% off new Grayscale Gorilla Plus memberships. You get award-winning and time-saving Cinema 4D plugins, over 1,400 drag-and-drop materials and assets, including exclusive collections, and over 500 hours of pro training to up your Cinema 4D game. And it's all at your fingertips, and it's all so that you can work faster and render more beautiful images for your clients. It's regularly priced at $3.99, but this is your chance to join for only $240 for your first year of membership. This is your one and only chance to get Plus for this low entry price. One day only, Wednesday, December 9th. Get it all with Grayscale Gorilla Plus.
Thank you very much.
Big shout out to GSG for sponsoring. We love them over there. So
I am
and Nick will be on next week, right?
Most likely, yes. I think that's the plan. We hadn't really locked it in, but I think we're good. So just a heads up there, Nick will be on, and we can talk a little more about that. I am kind of trying to do. It's the holidays, right? Things are slow-ish, or kind of, depending on where you're at with your holiday projects, right? But I'm trying to do my migration to really finally get into R23. So I'm trying to get Octane and Redshift installed correctly, X Particles, Forester, and then I want to get all of the new Grayscale stuff installed. So I have like this kind of like revamp that I got to do. It's kind of a good time of year for it. So
totally, yeah.
You know what I do to help that process?
What's that?
What do you do?
I uninstall the previous versions.
Oh yeah, right.
Because then if I only have one version installed, I can't just be like, I'll set it up later. If I open up a project file, I'm like, oh crap, I don't have that installed. Ooh, I better get that installed really quick.
Do you really uninstall all the other versions?
Yep, I only have the latest version of each piece of software that I use.
Interesting.
It's working with
but what happens if
though?
There's like errors and stuff like that? Like what do you do with your Adobe apps?
That into the ropes. Oh, I uninstall them and use Affinity and DaVinci.
Okay. Okay, good.
No, yeah, I do the once a year like I'm canceling Creative Cloud for the 50% off the next year.
Right.
But otherwise, I just keep it there in case someone sends me like a Premiere project or After Effects thing.
Interesting.
But yeah, I don't. I try not to use them.
You use Infinity and
Affinity.
Affinity.
Yeah.
What's Affinity? I don't know Affinity.
They make a Photoshop and an Illustrator.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
it's not it's for what I use. They work very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's for me.
Okay.
It's like if I have a problem with like a render looks different. That's my biggest thing. Oh, something looks different. Something sims differently for some reason. That's why I'm nervous to uninstall. But I mean, you wait until a project is done, right?
I will say though, I did uninstall S22 the other day because I was on one project this whole year on 21, and I had no chance to even get to S22 at all. So I was like, I didn't install any of my stuff. Why do I even need it here? I'm just gonna delete it, and move on to R23.
Yeah, I like 23 a lot. It's been really fun to play with. I don't do it mid project, by the way. It's like I'm done with a thing, and like, I want to move on to the new thing. Check. Does Octane work? Yes. Yeah. Okay, I can move.
Yeah.
And I mean, Redshift is always in some realm of not working. It feels like for the past couple months.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like a version where crypto mats don't render, or something just kind of borked, so it's kind of like juggle between version .30 and .33 or .26. Like it's one of those specific ones that you got to use, otherwise there's kind of something going on.
Yeah.
But I've been going, like, I have this feeling inside of me that like any day now, like OSL is gonna get turned on. And I feel like I'm gonna want to come like running back over to the Redshift engine just to be able to play with all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
do you do a lot of OSL stuff?
I've been going through the Big Book of Shaders programming guidebook, like to learn like GLSL, and I've been spending a lot of time like doing tutorials on Shader Toy, and in general, like I've been working more towards I've been having a lot of fun making shaders inside of Unreal Engine, and and somewhat in Unity, and all that information is sort of like useful for OSL too.
Right.
So I'm hoping that I can, at least know enough to edit other existing OSLs, because OSL scripts, because there's already so many of them that are out there. But if I see one that's like, this one propagates these types of waveforms in a volume displacement manner across this thing, take this and take that script, and then I can get I can sample a vector from this and that, and just being able to read the code and go full matrix on it is kind of
right. You just see blonde, brunette, redhead.
Yeah. A couple quick other things for the week wrap up. Actually, really one other thing when you think about it. It's just classes. Just make sure you check out the Houdini course, Stop Being Afraid of Houdini. Make sure you check out Winbush's Creating the Unreal. He's got his Twitch streams every Saturday where basically a bunch of Mographers hang out playing video games and talking about Mography stuff and Unreal and all of that. I called in the other day.
Did you?
Just
I think I was
hi
asleep
the other night. Yeah. And so check that out. And we're working on some other courses right now. I've been going full blast on mine, just doing a ton of recording, a ton of editing, and working on some of the other ones that are coming up. I won't talk too much about them at this point, just to make sure that we're off and running on a lot of them before we announce them. But I will say that Brandon Clements has been previewing his a little bit online, and I've been editing his. He's going full force, and it is going to be awesome. It is so great so far, learning how to do ray tracing stuff in Unreal. It's very different from what Winbush is doing, like the production and starting from scratch thing. His is a little more of an advanced course. He's not going to teach you how to install Unreal. You got to be in it. But man, it is looking really good. So
yeah.
I'm excited for that because I just spent the better part of a weekend, like 3 weekends ago, chasing down getting a device ID hardware code for the NVIDIA RTX Caustic beta. and then compiling Unreal Engine from source to include the plugins that I needed, so that way I could actually tinker. But now I have like a full scene that I'm working on that like loads up Alembics and has RTX caustics and DLSS functioning totally great. It's been really stable, and it felt cool to like pull it from GitHub, assemble it, and compile it myself and build it. You know, I was like, dude, I see the code. I'm a hacker.
See, I'm the opposite. I was telling Matt this morning because we were talking about deep fakes, and it's like, you ever think about trying to do like actual deep fakes and all of that, and just mess with it just to see what it's about? And I'm like, yeah, I thought about it one time, and I sat down, and the first step was, all right, go to GitHub and get this library, and I'm like, close. Thank you very much.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
GitHub. Ugh, you gotta compile your own code. No, thank you.
Well,
it's like a baby's toy.
Adam Elder from Spiffy, he was doing a whole bunch of experimentation and R&D in the deepfake thing for whatever his uses were. He was, trying to make it to where he could take whatever he was doing. But he was looking for ideas to train, and I think this was last summer. I remember it. Yeah. COVID time has destroyed me. But I was telling him he could be a theoretical millionaire by creating a series that I called Face On, where he swapped John Travolta and Nicolas Cage's face.
Oh my gosh!
After the face off. So,
yes.
And then he started working on it a little bit, and it was pretty sweet. I honestly want to see the whole movie where the faces have been swapped.
Oh man, that is such a great idea.
I think someone did that.
Yeah, after I came up with the idea, stole it from me.
Yeah, it's in the idea space, man. Got taken.
I put it out there in the aether.
Yeah.
Because I want to benefit humanity. Then someone does it and doesn't credit me.
That would benefit humanity. For sure.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Face on deep face.
Mark is like, I'm not gonna tell you. We can't tell you. We used to say that. Remember? Yeah. We can't tell you. Yeah, face on. I love that.
The whole movie.
My son just got me this for my birthday. It's a little Hearthstone stress ball, and it comes in so handy. Like at work, I'm just like on Zoom calls or something, or going through something, just trying to think with how to respond to an email or a weird Slack comment or something. And I'm just like, just squeeze the ball, just squeeze the ball.
I have a couple of those. I have a squishy pig, and I have a stretchy banana.
That stretchy banana is so gross. It is the grossest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like one of the like willy wiggly ones that are like filled with too much liquid?
No, it's not liquid. It's got like a powder in it, so like you can stretch the banana, but it stays unstretched. You have to kind of like finagle it back into banana shape.
Like a rigid Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mark. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Mark said it looks like a side effects logo on the side of it.
Yeah.
The side effects. Yeah.
Oh, I guess it does. Yeah. It's a Hearthstone from World of Warcraft and/or the franchise Hearthstone.
It's a Houdini stone. The Houdini stones. All right. So here's what I have for our agenda, so to speak, right? And it's mostly just us, chatting and hanging out. But first of all, I just wanted to ask you, what have you been doing this year? It's been a strange year. Things are all weird and stuff with COVID. And like you were saying, like last summer might as well have been 10 years ago at this point, right? So like, what have you been up to this year?
How's business been for you too?
Yeah.
Business has been great. It's been really good. I've been like in the beginning of the year, we being Chris Cook and Rhino Eckstein and myself put together sort of this like motion design collective company called Decoy Flux, and it's largely been those two doing a lot of freelance work underneath that name, and I'll pull in jobs here and there and and produce them through them and work with them there and sort of direct things. And then we've been working independently on our own on our own little piece that we've kind of we've been procrastinating, but it's been fun to sort of non-committally have a little company going on. Yeah, it's part-time and full-time for some, and it's an interesting thing that's existing right now, and I'm not sure really where it's going to go. But and then auxiliary to that, I was also looking around for like sort of like another full-time thing earlier in the year, and I wasn't sure really what I wanted to do. I left my job at Silence when it was bought by BlackBerry. I was there for almost 4 years. I feel like, with the creative team over there, I got to create some pretty insane stuff and play around with a lot of cool toys, learn tons about the cybersecurity and tech world and startup culture in general. And when I was done and I did a couple freelance jobs, I kind of just took a break and said, no, I'm not going to work anymore. Like COVID was about to start. Like it was, we'd heard a little bit about it in January, early February.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do, basically what came to me was like, I want to work on things that people experience as a group and have meaning to them. And it wasn't really concerts. I didn't want to do concerts again, but concerts were the closest thing I ever got to like spending a decent amount of time building something that's like a living product that goes on and does its thing, and everyone gets to experience this cool thing. It doesn't exist on a screen. You got to physically go to see it. Like it felt sort of art adjacent. So I started sort of putting that out there, that I wanted something that was, more on that pulse. I interviewed with this VR company for about 2 months. Like,
jeez.
Like a recruiter reached out to me and said, like, would you be interested in doing this? The company does VR concerts. They're getting huge right now, but the interview process was like a little over 2 months, and it was during COVID. The people interviewing me changed a lot, and the job title they were interviewing me for changed a lot. And the end result of all of it was the CEO at the final boss, the CEO final boss basically was like, look, you're great. You're really smart. Clearly, you know your way around these tools. But if, there's a lot of really great motion designers out there. And what we need is someone who can jump into any game engine with your abilities and artistic direction and actually make a change inside engine. And you just don't have that skill set yet.
Dang.
Yeah.
And I was like, fair enough. I feel like, within 2 weeks we would find that to be a non-issue, but
right.
For to each their own. I don't want to start a job where I'm just constantly trying to prove that I'm worth the salary. So
Absolutely.
It's been great. It's been great meeting you all. But through that, one of the people that was interviewing me along the way hit me up like a month later. I still was taking a break and not working, and he was just like, hey, I've got a friend who I'd like to introduce you to if you're still looking for work. And I was like, I'm not saying no to any conversation with anyone. So yeah, let's connect. And that's the CEO of this company that I'm currently working at part-time now, hoping to be like to switch this over to full-time based on like some funding and all that kind of stuff. It's a startup. So it's an application called Tonestone. It's a real-time music creation application. There's not like I can't really get into tons of the details of it, but it's been really fun. I've been designing with engine, creators and shader devs, and just making concept art and working in a real-time application for the last like 4 or 5 months, part-time, and then working on art on the side. That crypto thing's so hot right now.
So hot.
That's on the list too for in a little bit. We'll get to that.
But yeah, I've just been kind of like just doing kind of how I got into like this cybersecurity thing with like BlackBerry and Silence, is like just sort of like saying no to the normal stuff that I would normally just like take, burn a few day rates, and not be super stoked on the output or whatever. Just really like just only taking on projects where I get to like where it's like, hey, we trust your vision, do it to it.
That's cool.
I'm a little bit interested where some of this is going to go in the industry with game engines, because there's a lot of people that are in Mograph learning game engines, and it might be a good idea to dabble in it at least, because back in the day, remember you go to like an edit house, like a post house, right? And they would have a dedicated editor, a dedicated shooter, a dedicated producer. And of course, you come up with the concept of a predator, producer, editor.
No.
Because they're combining jobs essentially. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing, because then all this stuff is expected of you.
Yeah.
But it sounds kind of like that's where some of this is going now with motion graphics. It's like, okay, you have to know Octane and you have to know all 3D stuff, Substance and all that, but you also have to know a little bit about, at least a little bit about game engines to be able to compete. And hopefully that's not the case for everybody. I'd hate for that to be like kind of a given to be in Mograph, but
I don't think it really is necessarily. Yeah. It's a really cool thing. Like, I mean, I was just kind of helping out, consulting, like basically I've worked with getting a whole bunch of particle stuff out of Houdini and into Unreal, and kind of watched as like a full virtual production was like developed from beginning to end. And
man, that seems like a crazy task to get from Houdini to Unreal.
Well, no, actually, you just install the Side Effects Labs Niagara exporter plugin, which is basically ships with Houdini. It exports a JSON, and then you get the Niagara plugin set up in Unreal Engine, and you load that JSON in the standard Houdini Niagara emitter, and you're basically out the gate have like a little GPU sprite or CPU sprite for each particle that's animated, and it works pretty clean. Like, I was able to figure it out pretty fast just based on the 2 videos in the documentation.
So it's kind of like exporting an Alembic sequence in a way, to where like the data has already been calculated or something, right? And then you're just feeding that into another program.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a lot less. So with the JSON, like, you know, it's got file overhead limitations. Like, you can't do like a million particle sim and export like a 2 gigabyte JSON and load it up as an emitter object. Like, you have to kind of get crafty, but it does look a lot better than like throwing a texture map on something.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got the 3D elements of it, right? But I imagine that there's limitations because of the real-time-ness of it.
Oh, VRAM. I mean, like, VRAM's nuts. Like, I'm fortunate to be stacking 3090s over here, so VRAM doesn't even matter to me. Like, I'll load 4 instances of it. That's all.
At least for another year.
Right.
Well, hopefully Unreal Engine and Unity like turn on support for NVLink, because I don't really. Who could possibly need more than 40 gigs of VRAM after Windows?
I know one
stacks?
person, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh.
Yes.
Not Casey.
No, not Casey.
No,
not me.
No.
Matt knows many people in the industry that don't optimize their scenes.
Yes, I know you. So, anyway, how many 3090s are you running? 2 now?
I have 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. Billy or Rad Scientist may have beat me to it, but I think I was the first one on the Mograph Slack to get 2.
Yeah.
I think you were the first to enable NVLink.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm still looking for that second one. I've been having problems with hot stock, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, you know, like this happened last week, and it happened the last time they went on sale, where it'll say, okay, it's on sale at Best Buy, and you go and you get one in your cart, and then it says, oh, one's not available to ship. You have to pick it up, but nothing's available within 250 miles. And I'm like, so why are you telling me I can purchase it?
Right.
You know, if I can't purchase it within 250 miles of myself.
And the same thing happened. Julie has been watching, because you can only do one for free on the app. So she's been watching the new Xboxes for me. And by the time it alerted and she ran into the other room and gave me the phone and I looked it up, they were already gone. And it was only on Microsoft's site, and it still said, it was still giving me alerts. Oh, it's available. And you click and Microsoft's like, we don't have those. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Is there a reason you would buy an Xbox if you've already got like a 3000 series Ampere GPU that could just like play
I don't know. I don't love playing video games at my desk, you know, but I set up, so I built a secondary gaming computer, and it's got a 2070 Super in it, which is great, you know. I don't know, for some reason I feel I've always felt like a console is a bit more stable than a desktop.
It's just easy to hit the button, turn it on, sit down, play, and turn it off when you're done. That's you know.
I guess that's true. I mean, it's just whenever I do get around to like being away from my computer and want to play a console game, I feel like I turn the console on and then I have to walk away while it updates for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that's the issue that I've always found with, playing console games, like, not consistently. You know,
but we'll play Halo
take
like
a year
every
off
night.
from playing Halo, and then we've got a 20 gig update that we've got to do.
The thing is,
whatever.
since COVID started, we started adding our friends who play Halo.
Yeah, since
and
COVID
playing
started,
more
we've been
Halo.
playing games like crazy.
And then more people joined our Halo group, and more people I think we have 10, 11 people in our Halo group now, to where any given night you say, hey, I'm going to play Halo, and then you could at least get like 4 people out of that group on.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this the other night. I think it was Jeremy I was talking to, who's on our team. It's like doing this Halo thing right at the beginning of COVID was like the best thing we could have done, because it was like kind of our only outlet to hang out with friends and chat and just have a good time and forget the worries of the world, especially at the beginning when we didn't know what was going on. And we've been doing it ever since. And it's like, I feel like, I mean, my girlfriend and I are here and whatnot, but there are those times that you want to go hang out with some friends and grab a drink or something, and you can't. So it's kind of been that outlet for us, is to hang out with our buddies. So
yeah, we have a Sunday Zoom brunch that a small group of like old school childhood close friends and all have been doing during COVID, which has been cool because a lot of the people that are on that we hadn't really talked for years. And then we like this. I mean, aside from COVID, there was so much more going on this year in general that like could have just warranted like just getting together with a group of friends. Like same, we have a family group over here, with the kid and my wife, and we have fun, but not being able to like go high five your best friend or something when there's something bad going on, or like there's been some tragedies in our lives that we could have all used like a hug from our buds during this year. And it would have been nice, but we'll catch up sometime next year.
No, I felt like it a lot of times you'll see on our Halo chat group, on our like iPhone text thread or whatever, someone will be like, man, I'm having a really bad day, I'd like to get some aggression out on Halo, and then everybody pwn some noobs, and we sit down though and we play. It's like, oh, so why are you having a bad day? And we'll sit there and we'll get the aggression out and chat at the same time. And sometimes
and then someone else will join and they're like, oh, so why are you having a bad day? And I don't want to go through it again.
But it's almost like counseling or something. We'll sit down and chat about what's going on, even if it's like work related. My stupid thing's not working and the tech doesn't work and can't get this driver working right. It's just been a crappy day, and it's good counseling,
Yeah, my office has become set up like, so my main work monitor is a 48-inch LG OLED.
I don't know how you do that. That's freaking huge. How can you see it?
It's
a
7
TV?
feet from...
Is it a TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I saw
but
the photo.
It's 120 hertz OLED.
Okay. That's a lot of hertz.
It's HDR10. It's basically like a color grading monitor at a color suite. Like the color accuracy is so damn good. But I have that little like sorry for the mic. I have that little couch behind me. I just slam this chair out of the way and grab my PlayStation controller, which is hooked up to my PC, and I'm getting that console life.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna have to really get used to it, because that Cyberpunk is coming out. What day is it? The 10th, but technically the 9th.
Yes, that's what you said, right? Wednesday the 9th.
You got to get your space set up so that you can play.
I feel so behind on this. I don't even know what the game is about.
Oh, let's play. Matt, what's the game
about? Keanu Reeves is in it or something like that.
Keanu Reeves.
What do you think the game's about? Let's see Matt just try to describe the synopsis of Cyberpunk 2077.
This is like asking my mom to name different Pokemon.
No, this is like Beeple's People for Cyberpunk.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't play a ton of like games like that. I'm assuming you're Keanu Reeves and you're
Can be.
in a dystopian future-esque thing, and yeah, that's about all I know.
You're living in this world where the mods that can change your body type and your abilities and like your everything, those exist. You get upgrades to your whole persona. Everyone gets upgrades to everything, and you're looking for an upgrade that could lead to immortality, like before the wrong people can get it. Is like the main through line for the plot. But there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the game. Like, did you play The Witcher 3?
No.
Have you ever played any CD Projekt Red game?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it's like, get ready for like open world anxiety, where you're gonna hop in and be like, all right, I only have an hour to play right now. You know what? I can't handle this. I'm not gonna play.
See, I tried Skyrim one time, and I, did the normal thing where you wake up in the back of the thing.
The 45-minute intro. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
got
long.
through the intro, because I had like an hour and a half to play. I built my character, and then I had to leave. It's like, and then that's where I left off.
It's the same thing with Red Dead Redemption. It's like, oh my God, can we please get to the gameplay?
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption, that game makes me so mad. So I loved GTA 5. I've beat GTA 5 3 times. Like,
yeah.
The first time I played through it, I almost quit when you got to the Trevor storyline. I was like, I don't know if I can play. This character is problematic. Like, I do not like you. Like, you cut to a terrible domestic dispute happening, and now you're supposed to play as the character who just did these things?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do this. This is not who I want to be. How do I get out of this? But then kept playing. And then, like, 8 months later, I was like, I kind of feel like playing through some GTA 5 again.
Yeah.
But Red Dead, you try to hop in that. Like, everyone that loves Red Dead is like, it's so immersive. Like, the horse's butt moves.
Yeah.
But then you're riding your horse, and some idiot NPC walks in front of you and goes like, hey, and you trample them and murder them. And then you have all the police after you, and you got to go to the post office to pay your bail. Like, that's
weird.
No, thank you, Red Dead.
I think that that Cyberpunk is basically going to be like GTA. I mean, it's going to have the open world stuff and all that, right?
Is it multiplayer?
Yeah.
Is it
well,
multiplayer?
It's.
I didn't know if like
not right out of the gate. There's a rumor that that's what they're working on, but they haven't said much about it yet. So I think that will probably. I mean, look at the model of GTA. They're going to do it. They're going to make tons of money off of it. It's going to happen.
That was Rockstar, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Rockstar. Have you ever watched? What was it called? I think the book's called, or not watched. Have you ever watched this book?
Yes.
Watched it sit on my
it was
shelf.
sitting there forever, getting dust.
It's called I think it's called Wanted. It's like the story of Rockstar Games,
that's
and
cool.
it goes from like the humble beginnings to like the almost collapse of the company to the turning it around. But it's a really interesting read. I read it after I audiobooked it after I did the Masters of Doom audiobook, which was all about id Software and John Romero and John Carmack, like forming and creating the first Doom, and like the fall of that company, them splitting into different directions, and both really good books.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. I think that Rockstar really has the marketing and they know how to microtransact the hell out of it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
They do. That's why there's not a new one.
Dave spent so much money on that game.
Yeah, way too much.
Did you?
Way too much.
Oh, no.
Besides the 3 versions that I bought, yeah.
Dude, you gotta come over and play GTA with me. We'll drive around in my giant armored vehicle
and my drones and my tanks and my different bunkers and my yacht. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Billy says that multiplayer is scheduled for 2022, and he also says it's more of an RPG than a single story like GTA. I do know that you'll be able to play different characters with different types of roles, or like in different class situations. Like you're, like I don't know what you would call it, a low class citizen in one of them, and another one you've got a different like high class role, that kind of thing. that's really all I've seen
Maybe
as far as that.
Maybe I should download it and then spend the next like few weeks playing it as someone who has never really played a game like this before. You know,
well, definitely
stream
should,
it on
man. It's gonna be
Twitch
good.
and be like, I don't know anything about this game. I've been living in a sewer for, you know, a year.
But you can stream it high frame rate in 4K with that 3090, yo. That's the thing. It's gonna look freaking fantastic.
And NVLink 39. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing on my OLED at 120 FPS, 4K, and everyone's gonna be like, I can't believe he's playing on a 48-inch TV, and I'm gonna be like,
That's how I roll.
Dude, TVs are so cheap nowadays.
I know.
I was looking at upgrading my my media room. Right now it's a 65. I was like, because down in my living room, I'm like, I you know, I've got a little bit of room here. I could get rid of this old 50-inch plasma TV. That, you know, it's basically
terrible.
Yeah, but it's so hot. It's so warm when you have it
plasma,
on.
yeah.
You know,
yeah,
and it's so heavy. You know, so it's like, oh, maybe I could get
blacks are so rich.
Mm-hmm.
Are they? I don't know. I haven't noticed anything.
That was the argument for why anyone would buy a plasma. Like, cut to 13 years ago.
Yeah.
It's us. We're arguing about displays, and I'm like, oh, I just got this this LCD from Best Buy. It's a 42-inch, and it was $3,900.
Yeah.
and then I am like, oh, I bought a plasma. It weighs 1,200 pounds. It cost me $6,200.
Yeah.
It's 32 inches.
So ridiculous. But the bevel around the outside is probably like 3 or 4 inches thick. You know, it's like a frame for a picture on it. You know, I was like, oh man, I could just, you know, go get myself a cheap TCL. You know, and so I was like, I'm measuring it. And I was like, okay, if I buy like a 55-inch, a 60-inch, you know, because right now it's a 50-inch. I was like, oh no, a 65 won't fit in there. But then I was like, oh, will a 60? So I go and measure my bedroom TV, which is 60 inches. You know, I was like, oh, okay. So I can move the 60-inch into my living room, move the 65 from my media room down to my bedroom, and then buy a 75-inch for the media room.
Yeah, you think you're starting out cheap, but then it just gets worse and worse, right?
Yeah. But it was like a 75-inch TCL at Walmart for like $680.
I have one in my living room.
That's so cheap.
I just helped my dad install one too. This exact same one as well at his house this weekend.
So cheap, and they've got the built-in Roku. It's like, all right, you can track me all you want. I'll take a cheap TV.
Wait, track you?
Oh yeah, that's what Roku
your
does.
viewing
That's how they make all their money. Yeah.
We do that. I think I'm about to trigger the cascading effect of television movement. Same exact scenario. Living room TV, want to upgrade, which means living room TV, still very good. Bought it 2 years ago at Black Friday. It's a 68-inch Samsung, super nice. But the bedroom is my old office TV, which is a 55-inch Sony XBR or XDR, which is really nice. That's got to go into my son's room so I can get rid of the one that used to be in our living room, which is a 48-inch Samsung.
Right.
And that one's got to go into the gym, which has a 28-inch that used to be in my son's room.
Yeah. No, we put the one that my dad was replacing because it was still good. We put it in Grandma's room, and it is overkill, dude. It is like a 55-inch gigantic TV, like you know, 6 feet away from her face. You know, it's like such overkill. But it's like, man, when a TV is $150, like, you know, it's
you can't walk out of a Target and not get that.
Right.
And my grandma,
Dude,
you know,
like,
by the way,
having a 60-inch 4K TV in your bedroom is amazing.
Oh,
like
it's
absolutely amazing.
It's unnecessary.
It is unnecessary.
We had friends over like after like late last year when we remodeled and moved some stuff around, and they went in to take their kids to our son's room, and all the parents like turned their heads and like, whoa, like why does your kid have a 50-inch TV in his room? It's like, this was our bedroom originally. It was already mounted to the wall.
Right.
Yeah. What am I gonna do? We just put the bigger TV in the other room, and then I got the living room. And then you know what? They're like, man, you guys have a lot of TVs.
Yeah.
But they're also like, these specific parents are like, any more than 2 hours of screen time's real bad for you.
Yeah.
Dude, my
10-month-old,
he watches more TV than I do.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know.
Why you do that?
Because it's easy. You just go in the media room, you throw a bunch of toys on the ground, you rope him off with the thing. You throw on Elmo and you're good. You can kind of just chill.
My grandma.
Well, my son.
I'm not a good parent. I'm sorry, but I'm not a good parent.
Remember, Matt never claimed to be a good parent. He's just saying how he lives.
If you don't believe me, check out the parenting channel. Just about once a week, I say don't have kids.
Oh yeah, I'll go in there and see it and be like, oh wow, Matt, dark day.
That's funny.
Just I don't know. As a parent, you don't know whether you're just a bad parent or whether kids are just hard. I don't know. I'm almost. I just turned 38. Dude, a 10-month-old is hard when you're this old.
My daughter has a video on YouTube with 110,000 views now. So I'm kind of proud about the fact that she has had a little bit of screen time over the years because she understands like YouTube and things like that. But I don't know. I mean, it's a mix. It's like, yeah, I understand sitting there and just like staring at media all day is not good, but having like screen time that might be teaching you some skills for the future isn't as bad, right?
I mean, he's watching Elmo, that's
True.
educational.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm throwing on SpongeBob SquarePants more than once.
No, I was gonna say
that movie was good.
The new movie?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was really good.
Ah, man, I need to see it. It looked beautiful.
It's really well animated, and the story. I mean, it's like it's a kid's story, really, but like the cameos that are involved in it, and like the songs and stuff that are there, the world. It's really cool. Like it's very very surrealist and interesting. I watched it with the kid and the wife, and we liked it quite a bit. They watched it again actually.
Yeah.
Like and we never rewatch movies. Like that was something he used to do as a little guy, but now he's kind of like watch it once and he's done. Like he didn't want to watch Home Alone this weekend, which is like a tradition of mine.
Right.
Like between Thanksgiving and Christmas to watch Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Die Hard 1, Die Hard 3, Die Hard 4.
Okay.
And because 2 sucks.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that means you're on the train of it's a Christmas movie then.
I mean, it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's a Christmas tree in like 40% of the shots.
Okay.
They're at a Christmas party when they go in. He's coming home to deliver presents to his children.
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't know. I've never seen it, so.
Oh, you've never seen Die Hard?
You've never seen Die Hard?
So I hadn't seen Die Hard until a couple years ago for the first time. And my wife and I, we sat down and we watched it because we're like, what Christmas movie? I was like, let's watch Die Hard. And since then, I've watched it every year since.
But it's not a Die Hard thing specifically with me. It's not like it's purposely like Matt knows. I don't watch movies.
Yeah, Dave hasn't seen Terminator 2. He hasn't seen The
Godfather. Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know.
I know.
I'm Hitler. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure even Hitler saw Die Hard.
Right. Oh, that's true. Yeah. I remember him tweeting about it. So
he was always tweeting too. Hitler, most known for his presidential term, just tweeting all the time.
Yeah, he would just tweet all day, and it's like, why aren't you? Yeah.
He'd be like, these burritos are the best. Santos makes the best burritos. Umberto's is crap.
So I was gonna mention my grandma. My grandma's gonna turn 90 a week from today. Yes.
High score.
High score. Yeah, but she's got that giant TV, and she's so selfless, right? She was like, well, I don't need all that. David, you can take this TV. You can take this. I'm like, Grandma, you've seen my house. There's a TV in every freaking room. I have TVs in storage. I have an extra old TV in a closet. Like, I don't need any more TVs. TVs are like $100 now, for like 4K. So I'm like, take the TV. You deserve the TV. You're 90. So
you're 90. Take the
90.
TV.
Enjoy the TV. Be immersed.
Yeah.
Well. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like the display thing just reminded me. In my son's remote learning, he was having an issue. Like he just aced everything on his grades for second grade, and they were just like, if this weren't COVID times, we'd be saying like get him in a magnet. Like if you feel comfortable with like challenging him, he's obviously very smart. I mean, obviously. But
excellent.
they were like, yeah, with measurements and units, he was having a little bit of an issue, and my wife was like, it's because you're all measuring on an iPad screen, and he's measuring on his display on his desk.
Right.
They're not resolution accurate.
Right.
And they were like, she was like, oh, I was like, yeah, he has a 32-inch 4K desktop display that he's like trying to measure something, and it's like 8 inches long. So he writes down 8, and on the iPad it's like 1.5 inches. So I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, this is the school's fault, not my fault.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, I know what I wanted to mention because I just thought of it. I should have put it in the week wrap up, but real quick, don't forget about Thursday evening.
Oh yeah.
I completely forgot to say Thursday evening is the Fireside Reunion live special, late night special.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's
we'll
at
have
8 Central Time.
8
8
Central.
p.m.
Aaron Sorofsky, Barton Damer, and Ryan Summers will all be back. Kind of a Camp Mograph, 2019
update.
Fireside Reunion, talking about the industry updates and stuff like that, because so much has changed since then.
Well, you remember, Casey, they were talking a lot about studios and being in a studio and people working in a studio.
Being on site. Work from home doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now it's going to be very interesting to hear that update, on how they've adapted. And I'm interested to see. I bet you that Aaron and Barton have different opinions of that. I'd be willing to bet. So it's going to be interesting to hear. So make sure you check that out. And then 2 weeks from today is going to be our holiday episode with EJ and David as usual. So
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, ABC had they were able to maintain like a limited to stay open kind of, right? I mean, on Instagram it looked like it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think Barton was just like under the, like, he's like, if you don't feel comfortable coming in, don't come in.
That's great.
If you feel fine coming in, come in.
Mm-hmm.
I know Fancher's just been wearing a mask the whole time.
But it's very open because it's that new place, so there's plenty of space to sprawl out.
Yeah, there's lots of space for them to
you don't have to be near anybody and all that.
Yeah.
And most of them work close.
My friend, I have one friend who's like, I can't wait to go back to an office. Like, I can't wait to I have to get to an office. I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't be home. I need to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited for everyone in my house to be back in wherever they need to be, out of the house. Yeah, so I can be back in my office. Yeah, it's hard when you're so used to being by yourself and you get used to being by yourself.
Yeah.
And then everyone comes in and kind of, takes over your space
Cramps
and
your
your
style.
alone time. Yeah, and like, you've got to completely change the way you think and the way, your mental whatever,
Yeah, you have to be able to block it out and be like, I know I'm just upstairs, but I'm at work.
Right. And it's really hard when you're like in the zone working on something and then hey daddy,
right,
hey daddy, it's like, okay, I'm out of that, and now it's going to take me half an hour to get back in that,
right,
yeah.
Oh, someone's at the door, let me go downstairs, get the package. Oh, let me open the package. Oh, I got to do this thing, and then you realize that you're not at work anymore.
I miss walking him to school, because we walked him to school every day and picked him up from school every day. Like, it was just like, from second, or from when he was 2 going to preschool, or daycare, to preschool, to kindergarten, to first grade. Like, we walked him every day. And my wife and I had a cool routine. Like, I'd put my workout clothes on, we'd walk down, she'd go up the street to her yoga studio, I'd go down to the street to the CrossFit gym, and then we'd meet back up, get coffee, walk home, and I would start my day. Or I'd go to yoga with her, and then at 2 p.m. every day we'd go pick him up from school. And it was cool because we got to like interact with the other parents and the communities, and it's like, I think like I every once in a while have these waves where, like, an example, we went to walk the dogs through this park that is like very big and open, and because we're very paranoid in our household. Yeah. Like, we're hand sanny in the car. We order twice a month. We try. We never even thought of going in any of those like giant geodesic outdoor dining domes. Like that was just like, this isn't going to end well in our head.
Yeah.
But we went to this walk and like there were all these kids like playing softball, like in 2-team sports in Los Angeles, like 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
As we're like cresting over 4,000 a day and going higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
This whole group of kids are playing softball in an organized league.
Yep.
And then at the playground, there's like 12 kids in the playground. And like, I was just like looking at him and like looking at all these other kids and like looking at him. And I just felt so bad for him because he knows that it's wrong, but he wants to go over there and then just like, you know, chuck a shoe into the sand pit and like, you know, crawl around and like just go ham with some kids and like, and you'd be like, hey, you want to play superhero? My power's lightning bolt.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. The only thing that we've been able to do, because my daughter is back in physical school, and I guess they're starting to look at data and the numbers, and it's with kids, it hasn't been as bad. I mean, I still get things saying from the school almost every week saying someone has been near somebody who had COVID. But if it's something where they know your
kid's teacher has it right now.
Yeah.
She won't be back until the 11th.
My kid's teacher had it the first day of school.
Whoa.
We got a letter the first day of school. We're like, but not had it. I'm sorry, was exposed to it, but not had it.
Oh, okay.
My kid's teacher has it. Officially has it. Yeah.
But so
she got it during a Thanksgiving break, thankfully, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so like no one was exposed, but I mean we've got antibodies from having it back in April.
Right.
So
that's nice.
Yeah, but
the school keeps asking us to open and we're like, no.
Yeah,
I was very hesitant, but you know, it was one of those things I discussed it, and you I don't know. It's weird. You have to kind of know how they're handling it, like to be able to see how they're handling it, and every school does it different. And I was very comfortable with what they were doing, and I still feel comfortable with it, you know. So, but we are being careful because, you know, grandma comes around every once in a while. My parents come around every once in a while, and so it's one of those things where like, okay, the holidays are coming up. Let's lock it down. Let's not see any friends, even for a couple minutes or outside or whatever. Let's, you know, we're spraying down all the packages that come in the door, all of that.
Yeah.
So that we can sit outside and social distance Thanksgiving, sit outside and social distance Christmas, just to get that. I mean, my grandma is like 90 years, turning 90. She deserves something for her 90th birthday, even if we're outside with masks on, you know, celebrating.
It is crazy to me, like, because at the beginning of COVID, I was like that. I was like, no, I don't want to touch anything, got to hand sanitize everything. And then I got it, and from that point on, it's like I don't even think about that stuff anymore, you know.
But it's a hard thing to say because you don't know if, I guess there's just not enough research. Can you carry it? Like, you could still have it on you.
I don't know.
Who knows? So you
it's
just
a good question. I mean, I still wear masks everywhere that I go, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not so crazy about the hand sanitizing anymore. Like, I'll pump my gas and not even think about it, you know.
But that's because it's you, and you can't get it on your hand and give it back to yourself.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Thankfully his cousin is like the same age as him.
Yeah.
And him and her are on FaceTime with each other like at a ton. Like, and she got gifted for like her birthday or something. Her parents got her an Apple Watch SE.
Cool.
So he got like super jealous. Not jealous. He was like, "Oh man, I want an Apple Watch." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not giving you an Apple Watch." Like, but I upgraded my Apple Watch, so I had the Series 3 just like in a drawer. And over the weekend, I like got it all set up.
Series 2, baby. It's my wife's old one.
But the Series 3 works great. But on eBay, it's only going to be, you know, like $60 or $80 or whatever it was. It wasn't worth the wasting time eBaying it. So I set it up for him. And now he has the walkie-talkie thing set up between me and his cousin and his mom and a couple other family members. And it's so cute to like just be sitting here working and it'd be like, "Beep, beep, beep. Hey, Dad, just wanted to see what you're up to. Over."
That's cool. It's full Dick Tracy right there.
Yeah, dude, it's so awesome.
Do you
like it just? Yeah.
Does your kid have any like friends who are social distance. Like my daughter, for example, we have one family who it's like her best friend. They're super strict lockdown. We're super strict lockdown. So we feel okay. Like if the kids see each other, just so they have one person for the love of God to play with, you know.
He was making, there was one kid in his class who he was becoming friends with, and we really liked the kid, and we went over to it for a couple playdates at the family's house, and we liked the mom and dad a lot too. Like they were super cool. Like we stayed there and like outlasted everyone else that came over on the group playdate, and we're like, all right, we should probably get out of your hair. We've been here way more than an hour. And they're like, no, it's cool. Hang out. Like, we'll, hang out, have beer, whatever. And it was like the end of the year.
I know that feeling.
And it was
like, no, please.
We were just like, we didn't quite have the friendship established with any kids because the kid's a social butterfly.
Yeah.
Like we would pick him up from school, and the kids would be like, hey Asher, and it'd be like a 5th grader or something like that, and I'd be like, who's that?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I dropped something and they helped me, and then they talked to me for a little while, so we were talking about this, and then girls wave, like, and I'd be like, who are all these people? And he was like, oh, that's them and them and them. Like he just had tons of like half friends, so impossible for us to like figure out. But yeah, he has friends that we see on Instagram pop up that are they have their like family agreement, like tontine handshakes. We will keep our family safe. Our children will keep themselves sane. And they get together and do the thing. But yeah, we don't have any of that going on here.
I guess, and we'll get to motion graphic stuff again here in a second. But I have a question, and I think this just popped in my head the other day, so I wrote it down for anybody that we're talking to about this stuff, which is, what have you learned about yourself in COVID times? It was one thing.
That's a good question. That's a good question, because I don't know. I've learned I don't have a lot of patience, but I kind of knew that already, and especially like I don't know. I've learned I'm not a good parent. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I've learned basically that I have a love-hate relationship with travel, in that I was really getting sick of travel, and really just, I love meetups and I love doing the things, but I hate getting there just after as many years as I traveled. And I hated being like, okay, I only have 3 weeks to do X, Y, and Z at home because I'm going to have to leave again, and that's going to throw my whole schedule off for another 2 weeks. And I got into the point where just travel so much, I just was just hating having to just get on a plane so much, but also that I miss going and doing meetups and things.
Yeah, I know.
And that I have enough self-discipline in me to keep working out, which I couldn't do when I was traveling before.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah, you're looking great, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I did 14 miles yesterday on that was the most I've ever done, because I'm starting to build up the endurance long distance stuff. So 14 miles. I only have 2 words for you on that: bloody nipples.
Ow.
Didn't know that was a real thing till yesterday.
Didn't you see The Office?
I was getting sort of out of shape again in the summer, and I was like, man, this sucks. I'm losing it. I'm like getting soft and fluffy everywhere. I can't squat anymore. I'm not working out consistently. So I went real heavy in August, and I was like, before I turn 36, I want to run a mile under 9 minutes. Like I want a good, healthy 8-minute-ish plus mile. Anything under 9 minutes, I'll be happy. So I ran a mile and timed it at the end of August at 11 minutes 40 seconds mile time in my little area, which has hills.
Yeah.
And then 4 days before my birthday, I went out for a midday run, and I was like, man, my pace is going really good. Like I'm feeling real nice right now. This feels really good. And like I looked at my watch at the halfway point, and I was like, oh shit, I could hit 8:10 right now if I really push. So I started pushing. I kept going. Just like not letting myself stop, trying to hit that runner's high. And it was very cold and dry that day. And I had my mask on. And right as I get back to the hill that I have to basically hit up, I have to like rim up this hill. Otherwise my time is gone.
Right.
My chest just started burning so bad. And like my lungs and everything hurt really, really bad. It felt like I took like a hit off like an 8-foot bong. And like my lungs just burned. But I timed it under 9 at 8:55 and was super stoked. But my friend, who's a big cardio runner person, said like, oh, it's called track hack. Like when you do like hot sprints and do really big sprints and in cold weather, you'll get this cough.
Oh yes.
And it can last like 2 days. And I was like, oh, okay, great. It went away like in a day, but I blew the time out and it felt great.
That's good.
And then now I'm trying to get back into the workout schedule again. I've been kind of lax because I've been working on some stuff that requires me getting up really early in the morning and having weird time zones and
get on Strava, man. Get on Strava with me, and we'll.
I'm on Strava.
Oh, you are? Do I have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to make sure I got you on.
I think you already follow me.
Oh, maybe I do.
But I think what I've learned a lot about myself in COVID is that after this is over, like this needs to be like my version of like getting food poisoning, where I'm never going to touch that thing again. Like there's certain things that COVID has like amplified that I would just ignore, like that I would do that I need to just not do. Like for example, I would bail on people because I just didn't want to go out. I'd rather just stay home. So people would be like, "Oh, come out and do this thing," and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, sure, maybe," and not respond, ghost, not go. Yeah. And like at first, at the beginning of this, I was like, "Oh, fucking amazing! No one can ask me to come out. I don't have to I don't have to go do things with people.
It's an introvert's paradise."
But
right.
But there's been so many times where like I'm just looking out the window or something and being like, I just want to like go to a restaurant right now and eat breakfast with my family on Sunday at a brunch place, or like go to a bad movie with my friends, or go to a stupid thing that I don't want to go to and just go there to be there with friends and people. Yeah. Like I'll go to an airport right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my daughter the other day. It was a weekend. It was like, oh my God, all we are doing is sitting here and being on the computer or the iPad or playing video games. There's literally nothing else to do right now. And it's like, you've got to, and it's gross outside. We can't even go do anything outside. And it's like, oh my God, what else can we possibly do right now?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I would love to go outside and do something. I would love to go to the arcade or just something, whereas before it was like, oh, it's the weekend, I don't want to go do anything. So
I want to camp.
Yeah.
I want to just hang out with friends more and not just seeing them once every 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
No, as far as like work and things, this is how I kind of want to segue it back into some motion graphic stuff. Do you okay, as far as COVID, work-life balance, just being mentally healthy, what have you been doing in that aspect this year?
Well, I just keep the work in this room. Like I don't work. I don't work on like stuff on my laptop outside of this room. Like if I want to do anything work related, I have to come into my office to do it. Otherwise, it's all like maybe I'll put together a Pinterest board or something on my iPad upstairs. But I've been working from home for years.
Yeah.
Like apps. I've been a remote person and a collaborator for a very, very long time. So I had to go through that whole process a long time ago, like figuring out how to like walk out. One of the things that helps between this room and the upstairs is my gym room with my weight rack and stuff. So trying to do some kind of like 5 reps of something, just to like change my mode. Like do 5 air squats when I walk through, or like do like 5 like power cleans, or like something like minimal that just like triggers a flip.
Yeah.
Do you have like certain office hours or anything like that, or does it vary?
Oh no, I'm bad about that.
Yeah.
No, I'll be like, there's a lull upstairs, I'm gonna head down for a while.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be like, oh, man, I don't really feel like working on this today. I'm just gonna go upstairs and then come back down at night. But I think that's the benefit. I don't see that as a negative.
I agree. It's fluid.
Yeah, I hated studio life. I hated like studios starting at 10 a.m. I was like, 10 a.m.? I've been up for like 4 to 5 hours already, and then I gotta come in at 10, and you gotta like, then you're gonna roll in with your art director scarf, sipping coffee at 10.
Just
it's
rolled out
basically
of bed.
lunchtime
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be like, I'll check in with you like an hour. Just give me a minute to like get settled in. By that point, it's like 11:30 when you actually came over, and I'm still looking at the end of this when I get to leave at 7:30 or 8 p.m. tonight. An hour of traffic to go home.
Yeah.
And then my day's busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even really get down to any creative work probably until like after 6 o'clock every night. It's just, managing things, phone calls, emails before
I'm
that.
so different than y'all. I'm so schedule oriented. Like that's definitely me. It's like, and
I mean, I am too, but it's just a different schedule.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. See, I'm get my kid to school, and when he's not here, it's get him to school, and then, get to work until I've got to go pick him up, and then unless there's something very pressing, it's like I'm off. I'm done.
But y'all are both morning people though, so that's kind of a difference.
I'm a morning person.
Right. I am very much a morning person.
Yeah.
And I'm not. See, that's my whole thing. Like I thrive on working late at night.
See, I'm in bed by 9 p.m. every night. I'm not asleep.
Right.
But I'll chill in my bed for a couple hours. Yeah, but I might be.
Yeah. I don't even get in bed probably till at least 1 a.m. And that's the thing.
Wow.
I've had to tell myself not to be upset that I'm not getting up at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
But it's like, why are you upset that you worked 15 hours a day and are actually getting 8 hours sleep? It's all it is offsetting the schedule. Shouldn't be, upset. I shouldn't be upset at myself for getting to my desk at 9 a.m. So
yeah.
No, I don't. But that's one of the things that I think the whole work from home and remote contractor and time zone ambiguity provides us all the ability to do to work like this. Is you can work whatever hours you want. If we're collaborating, we're in a different time zone. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna sync up and handshake and do our things that we're working on. Like Chris Cook and Rhino, the two that I usually generally always work with, they're in South Africa. So we sometimes I'll be awake, like playing a video game or something, and they'll hop on Discord and be like, "Yo, Case, wanted to check in on this," and I'll be like, "Oh, cool, let's just check in really quick."
Yeah.
And then I'll wake up at like 6:30 in the morning. They're pretty much almost about to wrap up their day. We'll check in, talk about things. If I'm helping them on something, I'll take over, and then when I'm done, they're picking the things back up. Yeah. But
I try to be wary of
cool
people's
about
schedules.
What? Say what?
Oh, I'm really wary about people's schedules and making sure that I'm not like, oh, you want to meet at like 6 or 7 o'clock tonight on Skype or something? Making sure, is that cool? But most people are like, oh man, that actually works better because then I can finish my work and then we can talk at 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say that's really nice. Like, we've had Phil Raid Zero, do a few jobs for us, and he's in the UK, so it's like he gets a jump start on stuff 5 hours before we do, and then hands it off as soon as we get to the office or whatever. It's nice.
It's great because sometimes the thing that is the hardest part of any job for me is just like opening the application and putting down the first piece of geometry.
Right.
So like if I can hop into a file that's already pretty much got like the ideas like started, like if I'm like, oh, I'm thinking it's like this network of things that moves around, and like, so if we get like a cool like maze structure that we can play with, like, we can move particles along that, it'll be really fun to do that. And then I'll open that file with half of that done and be like, oh, cool, now I'll start putting some materials around here, setting up some lighting, go to sleep, wake up, more of the scene is propagated, and I'm like, oh, cool, now I'll work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what I was talking about as one of my new life hack a while back, is just getting it open. Like you said, it's so hard just to get the stuff open and get moving. So I'll do that the night before under the guise of, you only have to work on this as long as you want to work on this tonight. Right. So I'm like, I'm kind of tired, but it will be open. I'll have the things situated. I'll be ready to go. I leave the software open and let my computer go to sleep. And the next morning when I sit down, I'm like, oh, this is already kind of moving along. All I got to do is just continue. I don't have to start again.
Yeah.
My old new.c4d file used to have an xparticle system in it with 5 groups named A, B, C, D, E, F, an emitter, and the groups all linked into it, a spline with like 12 points on it, and a cloner object just set up to grid mode. So that way I could open it up and like start doing something right away.
Yeah. it's
You
great
had
to have
basically
that.
every starting thing that you would need.
Yeah,
and just
delete whatever you
what
don't
you
need it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
that's
don't know.
funny.
And that's the other thing about not working at a place specifically is I think most of us have enough. I mean, some better than others. Some of us struggle with it, but enough self motivation to where the whole thing with working from home is companies are like, oh, they're just like sitting around playing video games. They're not actually working. Well, we are working, but we're able to work more efficiently and do more when we can kind of flow a little bit. It's like I'm having a terrible time thinking about how to work on this project. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go downstairs. And with the summertime in Dallas in Texas is so hot that if you want to go outside and run, you have to wait until it's basically nighttime and it's still 99 degrees.
It's still 90. Yeah.
But this time of year is great, and I love this more because like I can finish a show like today and go run at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and not think about it, even though it's during quote unquote business hours, and then come back. And then it's like, oh, you ran for 2 hours. You had time to think about all the things. And it's all out of my head, and now I'm clear, and now I actually have some creativity, and it really helps.
Here's what bugs me about the whole like bosses getting onto you about working from home stuff, like they don't trust you. To me, it's like anytime I'm hiring a freelancer, I'm paying them to do one job, and it's like, I want you to do this job. Just tell me when it's going to be done, and I don't care what time or when you do it or whatever. This is the one job. It's the same with like our babysitter that we've got. When she was first coming and watching the kid and stuff, I was like, your one job is to make sure that my baby does not die. That is your one job, to make sure that he's safe, that he's fed, that his diaper's changed, and that's it. Anything you want to do above that is on yourself. I don't care, but you don't have to do that. She kept asking me, oh, do you want me to do the dishes or something? I'm like, you don't have to do that. You have one job and that's it. And I am perfectly comfortable paying you to do that one job and nothing more. It's like, and it annoys me to no end, these companies that are monitoring people's computer usage to make sure that they're at their desk for 8 hours a day, seeing
That's
what they
insane.
do. That's not the type of company you want to work
No, you
for.
don't. You don't.
They're
That's
micromanaging it so much that it's like they're checking every mouse movement and making sure that your mouse is moving. Otherwise, they're going to think that you're just slacking off. It's like you're paying someone for a job, not to sit at their desk for 9 hours with their mouse and making sure that their mouse moves.
Yeah, that's nuts. I haven't heard. I mean, I'm not surprised that companies are doing that, but that's crazy. But I guess like all the big places would be doing that if you're like using a pterodactyl to like remote into a workstation or something. They're probably logging all of that stuff. I would probably spend so many hundreds of hours coming up with a system that just made it to where it looked like I was working. And then be like, oh, all right. Well,
and that's what
my work done anyway.
That's what people have done. It's like, oh, I've made sure that my mouse moves, this much. I wrote this program so that my mouse moves this much.
Yeah,
so
there's a USB dongle
at my
for
desk.
that. You can put a dongle in there that'll move your mouse.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving a little bit. Yeah. You do have a hard out. We do have like 20 minutes left, so there's a couple things I wanted to hit real quick. And number one, I want to know a little bit more about your experience with crypto art so far.
So earlier this year I started making like a piece, like a series of pieces that I wanted to start putting out somewhere. I'm almost done with them. I'm just trying to find a marketplace that I want to put it on. I've applied to a couple and just have not heard back. And I guess I get that they're super slammed. I probably should have done this like 5 months ago when I started. But I think it's really cool. I think that it gives me something. It gives me like I like the idea that it's a permanent piece of like signed information that is an exchange between two people, and it puts some worth to it. And if someone likes it, they buy it. I've made like one piece of art in my entire life, and it sold at a gallery, and I felt really like really stoked for it. I was like, that was amazing. I should pull it up, but it was a piece that I did in 2007 for a series called 2020, and you were supposed to do an art piece that was a prediction of the year 2020. My art piece was the Earth with like this giant mouth opening in it with all these tentacles coming out, and humanity trying to escape on spaceships, and the tentacles were just smashing this the spaceships as they were flying away.
It's very accurate. Yeah.
I think crypto art's super cool. I think cryptocurrency is very, very cool in general. I think like the migration to Ethereum 2 is going to be really beneficial for that whole market. I think Render is giving us a really valid use case for blockchain technology.
Besides
like
money,
running a business.
Yeah.
And that's giving a builder spender type mentality with it, and it's working, and it's a very good proof of concept in its early phase. I know that the crypto art scene right now is seen as like it's kind of weird and flash in the panty or maybe get rich quickie.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's really cool. So is art. Art in general is like that. Like it's been used to embezzle money embezzle millions of dollars for since the beginning of art.
Yeah, there's this faddishness to it, kind of. I don't think it's going to go away. I'm not saying, it's a fad, it'll die off, but it'll definitely level out a bit. It's got to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the interest in the shock about it will disappear for a while, but I think it will stick around as a thing that people could participate in. If for no other reason than if you just look at the value of the piece, like some of like the really prominent and well-known pieces that are exchanging hands between people, like those things are going to continue developing a price. And I think that you'll start to see artists' older works as they become popular. So as there's a big rush for everyone to get in and charge 70 Ethereum for an emoji or whatever, as that all quells and and then some heroes and stuff rise in the industry, and prominent artists and the whole genre sort of balances out, I think we'll see some really cool just changes in it that I'm excited for. It's definitely given me a reason to continue making these like quarterly art piece goals that I've given myself, because I don't really like posting. I always felt weird like just doing the daily thing on Instagram or something. Like I could never get myself to do it because I was like, this is just doing extra work, but I'm not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Why would I do this?
Yeah.
This is just work with extra steps.
Yeah.
There are definitely people rising to the top. You've got Beeple, of course, who he's got his December 11th thing, whatever that is going to be, that big secret. But no, I'm just, we joke a lot about it. Matt and I kind of have a thread with Aryev and EJ over text, and we're just like, it's the type of work right now. I think that'll even out. I think you'll get better pieces, because right now you look at some of it and you're like, somebody paid $600 for like something that looked like it was made in Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
And it's like every single one I see, it's a bunch of like skulls or models of heads just with each other, and there's always a snake for some reason. It's like like I'm kind of waiting for this stuff to kind of even out and see what it becomes.
Yeah. But if you just go to DeviantArt and look at like the recent uploads on DeviantArt, it's the same stuff too. Yeah. It's like a glittery fairy with a skull near her that's been drawn oddly. Like it's just art. The art that people put out in general, like
you want meaning behind it.
Isn't very good.
Where's the meaning?
Yeah.
I don't think it all needs meaning. It is like G-Monk's on super rare now too. Like it's like I think it's a neat. I like the people that are creating intentional pieces for the movement. I think that's really cool. Like I think there's probably a huge percentage that are just kind of taking off recent Instagram posts that they have and slapping them on their pages, which is totally fine too. I mean, it's all serviceable. But I think it's cool. I mean, what was the option before? Just like it doesn't make you any money, or you sell it to Video Hive, or you wait for it to get put on a Pinterest board for a Tendril commercial, and then then
Yeah.
then you're Instagram famous.
You just you wait for it to bring you some business from Instagram because somebody likes your style and wants that style for a commercial. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vicky was asking about if you can do things with that art, like print T-shirts or prints or whatever. And I think it varies, but I think a lot of them do not give you copyright clearance.
I think it all depends on the contract that you come up with.
Yeah, you can't sell it.
Yeah.
But I've seen some cool interactive ones, like Beeple's election one was really cool because it was signed and triggered based on the election results. So it was either King Trump or Biden, and it was that whole thing changed. I've seen some that have like timed music, so the music changes. I think they're really cool. What I kind of want to get in the I'll throw this out there in the world, and maybe it already exists and I just didn't see it. But it'd be really cool to have like a crypto art wallet binder or portfolio device, like a really nice LCD screen that you could store your prints in and toggle between it with like, a good like refresh rate and a long battery life or something. Like something that you can like physically hold and store your pieces in.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess it can be an iPad, but like, I mean, something that's different that you can like, like one of those Samsung TVs that are the art frame ones. I would love a small version of those to like, store pieces in that are like 4.3 or Instagram reses.
Like a Raspberry Pi or something that can do that, that would be perfect. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, real quick, I have a link, and we don't really have to like dig into this. I just wanted to tell you it's going to be in the show notes if you haven't checked out 4.26 feature highlights for Unreal Engine, like the volume cloud builder and everything.
So cool.
Wow.
So cool.
Yeah, so check that out. We'll probably hear a lot more about it here pretty soon. People start experimenting with it. I'm sure Winbush is going to be doing some stuff, but what do you think here before we take off that we do a little Beeple's People?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, cool. It's been a little while. Figured we do that. Yeah. Take out your Beeple viewer of choice. Mine is Twitter. I'm going to go to Beeple Crap. That's him, right? Beeple on Twitter. He's Beeple. No, he's just Beeple on Twitter. He's not Beeple Crap or Beeple-Crap. Go to
his latest one,
November 30th, year of our Lord 2020. It's called All Time High. Speaking of which, no, I'm not saying I'm all time high. I'm
November 30th.
Speaking of
which one is that one?
That's the one with the that one.
The bull.
Oh, the cow.
Yeah.
So because this is about crypto, right?
It's about Bitcoin, hitting an all-time high. It's been like on the cusp of hitting that over 20K.
I don't know if we're in the Beepleverse anymore at this point.
I don't think so.
I
think it's the crypto art world now.
Yeah. You can tell he's been definitely making art based on that and based on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin hit what, 30,000? Is it 30,000 per coin?
It almost 20. Hit 20
or 20. That's right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It got close. Yeah.
I don't keep up with it enough to know. Yeah. Billy says
the Beepleverse has been on the blockchain the whole time.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's super meta. So what thoughts about this piece? You can see he's definitely using the Octane post effects here on the candles, like you do.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's really. I think it's good. I mean, there's some of his pieces I'm like, fuck, like that's good. Like that's just good composition and lighting and layering and rendering. Like that's that's not the okay, bro, fuck you,
right?
I don't see that guy making this. Like the joke around funny muck 'em up people. Like when he rips out like a hardcore good piece of concept art, I'm like, damn, damn that man and his talent.
Like he must have had extra time that day or something, Yeah,
but it's good. I'm glad he's crushing it in the crypto world.
The thing about Beeple's People now is it's really hard to relate it to that universe because he's doing all of these different things. Like if you go to December 1st, Homerlander. We can't really relate it back to the Beepleverse because it's like, what is going on? Like would Homer and Bart really be in the Beepleverse?
They could be. I mean, you're talking about a whole different worlds. If there's infinite worlds and infinite universes,
So so the Simpsons exist in that world? Is that the thing?
Oh yeah, Simpsons exist in.
Well, if he makes it, it exists.
That's true. But is it
As
in
soon as
that
It's from the
universe?
show
He's
The
created
Boys. Yeah.
What's from the show
There's
The
a
Boys?
baby with laser beam eyes. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's
Homelander-
right. I tried to
Homelander
watch
is
that.
It's good. It's very, very gory.
Is
Yeah, it is. That's
It's
what I
super
hear.
graphic.
I guess that's why. And then the last one, what was the last one? December 3rd, Not the Droids You're Looking For. This is
Yeah, this one was good.
this is Yoda.
I
with
got
his
my baby
brain.
Yoda right here.
Now, is that baby
Yeah.
Yoda or is that regular Yoda? I can't tell.
That's
I
Grongo.
think that's. I think that's baby Yoda.
Yeah, what is it? Grogu.
Grogu.
Okay. Grogu.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, it does. He had to have a name. They didn't refer. They called him
Everybody
Kid.
knew. Yeah, everybody
That
knew.
child.
Yoda.
That show is so freaking good.
Eh.
No, you're crazy.
Well,
That's like
I haven't.
Like,
I haven't seen any of season 2.
oh,
Oh, you
Seen any of
haven't?
season- No, I haven't seen even
Oh.
a single episode.
Okay.
it's so good. Like, my wife and I were just talking about this. Like, it doesn't even matter that there's Star Wars involved with it. It's just a good TV show,
Mhm.
and it doesn't get too sci-fi for me. It doesn't get like it just got like the directors that they use, like the talent they have. Just a good show.
Yeah.
And you know the Star Wars universe has really needed good content because it's been on a run of just garbage.
Yeah. There's
I've-
ups and downs
I've
to it. I don't know.
I really
feel
want to
about it.
watch the core Attack of the Clone or the
Yeah.
Clone Wars episodes.
There's 12 essential
You know?
episodes on Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
there's like
Oh,
12
yeah.
essential episodes that will, that whatever. So I'd really like to watch those first before I watch this new season.
I guess
I've never watched them, and I don't think I will watch them because they kind of like I can't remember who told me. They're like, oh yeah, you want to watch the Clone Wars? What if I told you it's just Star Wars Veggie Tales, and then now I can't see anything but Star
Oh,
Wars
boy.
Veggie Tales?
that's funny. No, I might watch them. I don't know. Is this part of it right here? Is this in Clone Wars to do all the R2D2s, take out little Yoda,
Well, I
little
think
baby
technically
Yoda's
those
eyeball?
are R3 bots.
Are they R3 bots? No,
Are they?
they're
I don't
not.
know. I don't know.
No.
I was just curious if this was in the Beepleverse at all, but probably not, right?
Everything's in the
It
Beepleverse.
is. If he
I don't
makes
know,
it,
though.
If it
If-
makes it to Instagram, then it becomes
Part of-
created.
yeah.
It's part of the verse.
But is
Yeah.
it still in the same universe as is
It's a long, long time ago. In
2018.
a galaxy far, far away.
I see.
Which-
Okay.
Oh, think about this. Think about this for time. Okay, so you know how we don't know the point of time interest. When they say a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we don't know what point of interest that time point takes place.
Mhm.
So if we're looking at it relative to Earth, we can be on Earth and seeing starlight from stars that have gone out millions of years ago
Mhm.
just hitting us.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So is it a long time ago from a certain point, or is it in the future from where we are now?
Let's get a
From
little
our
too
point
deep
of
for
view,
me.
like just think about
Yeah.
the way light and time travel. Like also someone else, this will help melt your brain a little further. If aliens are out there in the universe,
Mhm.
looking around with some sort of cosmic telescope,
Right.
they're still bound to the scientific laws of light traveling and information traveling at the speed of light.
Hmm.
Right.
Depending on where they are, they're probably just looking at a planet covered with giant lizards.
Right.
Right.
It's very unlikely that anything has seen that there's intelligent life on this planet
Right.
based on like the scope of the universe and just light traveling.
Right.
Horizon says shower thoughts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
is the
total
stuff
shower
that wakes you up at
thoughts.
3 a.m. sweating.
Yeah.
Funny.
I know we're coming up on our hard out here, but I also wanted to ask you about M1 real quick. Are you planning on getting the M1, M1, and what do you think?
I'm
Because
interested to
I
hear
feel
your
like you and
thoughts
I
on
have different thoughts because I'm like not on the Apple train anymore.
Oh man, so I am so stoked that they stuck the landing. Like every time a benchmark comes out and it's like it blew away the Intel's 1090-900 on this test at 51 degrees Celsius with no fan and a battery life that you could just basically close after sending an email, open, you browse the internet, send an email, and not plug the thing in for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Like what they did with this chip is so impressive. And if there's really this M1X laptop that is the MacBook Pro that's supposed to have like 16 cores inside of it, like double the speed. If those cores are all like linear, like the way that we're sort of like kind of hypothetically imagining they are, this new MacBook Pro could be a complete monster. And under Rosetta 2, even non-native Apple Silicon applications are running better on M1 chips on Rosetta than they are on the Intel chips available to the previous line of Apple laptops.
Man.
So any way you slice it, Apple's come in swinging with this new chip.
I guess I don't discount that. I just don't know about my own personal workflow where it would fit in. You know, I mean, does that fit your workflow? You got PCs, right? So like Octane, Redshift, like.
I've really enjoyed them on the betas. I like that I have the option. I guess it just depends. Like if Apple, like for one thing, right now eGPUs have been cut off. Like if you have an M1 chip, eGPU doesn't work. So they're going to need to give me some kind of discrete GPU, like maybe a big Navi RDNA 2 discrete laptop or GPU that's inside, or if that 16-inch MacBook Pro has like 32 gigs of unified memory that's shared between the CPU and the GPU. So you basically have like this insanely fast laptop GPU.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I really don't see myself going back to like full-on virtual production, Unreal Engine, and like hardcore development on a laptop ever.
Right.
But if in 2022 we're in this world where Apple Silicon is just straight outperforming like RTX GPUs or 4090s or something, which may never happen or whatever.
Yeah.
But if we look at it, if there's like a 128 core or 64 core Mac Pro in 2022 that uses like no power and renders just as fast as like a 3090 does now or something.
Yeah.
And they can figure out how to get ray tracing in metal. Like, I don't know. It'd be hard pressed not to at least be like considering going back.
And the consistency between that and PC, they'd have to be able to work together, right?
Yeah. But AMD's already sort of flexing on their version of ray tracing, saying like, oh, it works like this. It works for these games. For these games, we have a different version of DLSS type thing that we use, and this. So they're splitting again. So it's who knows? I mean, it's exciting. I do a lot of my storyboards and all my pitch decks and everything else on my MacBook Pro. Like I plug my iPad Pro into it and use it as sidecar. Break out the Apple Pencil to like do my style frames, then comp my renders in, let the PC do all the rendering. And I really, really enjoy the Mac OS user experience. Yeah. Like like for example, I don't use Gmail, Gcal, or any of that stuff, but I have Google addresses that I need to use. On my MacBook Pro, my iPad, my iPhone, I just go to accounts, put it in, and everything's synced fine. On my PC, if I try to, someone could explain it to me like I'm 5, would love it. I have no idea how to add a Google account to Outlook and have the calendars all sync up. No clue
it's
how
a
to
mess.
do it. And just the way that like there's apps on Mac OS that I love too, like Fantastical. Like I just hit Fantastical's button, type lunch with Dave, 12 p.m. CT. It'll email Dave, put that in my calendar on the day that it's typed in in plain human text. And it's organized very clean.
That ecosystem, I love that. Yeah, but it'll be interesting. Mark said that Intel got very complacent, which is true. And the thing is, they were already not doing as great because the Ryzen processors were kind of encroaching on their territory, and now that they're not in Mac, it's like, where is Intel gonna go? You know, which is why it's a good time to invest in Intel, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
While they're down.
Well, they for the first time ever partnered with another company to manufacture their silicon on this last round, didn't they? Wasn't that? I thought that I had read that.
Like
Intel
Foxconn
had tried
or something.
I'm not sure, but I remember Intel's whole thing was design the chip, engineer the chip, manufacture the chip.
Mhm.
We do it all.
Yeah.
AMD would be like, ship it. Let's get it built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which led to like the whole issues with like their stacked core threading issues, where like on Windows, like you'd get your beast machine and it just didn't work. I mean, you guys had TR2s.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
awful. So we
It was
switched back to
awful.
Intel.
I hated those things.
Yeah.
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 I love my 10980XE. Like I'm so happy with that CPU. Like
Yeah.
it feels like I have two 9900Ks inside one box. It's just so nice.
They're really nice processors.
Yeah, they are.
Ours is just the one step below yours. I think it's the 1096 or something. I don't know.
10940 or 10960 or
Yeah,
something.
it's the 14 core one, you know.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah. Tesla Rock said
Oh.
Intel might have like a Nokia-like fail. You know. So
I
that's
don't-
something to
I don't
watch.
think
I
so.
don't.
I don't see that
I
happening.
don't. Maybe
Yeah.
not
It'd
now.
be impossible because
Yeah.
because AMD doesn't have an offering that's anywhere near compared to like the XE line or the X line of Intel, unless you like go into their Threadripper town, which are much more expensive and not as performant,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in my opinion.
Billy says TSMC has always made Apple's chips. The fab itself, Apple designed, but not made in-house.
But not made in the
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess we got to get out of here. Run your heart out here. It's 1:45, 11:45.
Hey,
Yeah.
Steve, thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's
Oh, this is
always a
great.
pleasure.
I was telling Dave this is basically like the only holiday party that I have planned this year.
Come hang out. Come
Yeah.
hang out on the actual Christmas episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll be in chat on Thursday for sure, throwing virtual
Yeah.
logs in the fireplace for you.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, virtual logs and hilarity. That's what we
Yeah.
need from you in the chat.
Abs-
And it's early enough now. You can catch the Monday meeting here at 2:00 Central. Make sure you check that out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop on that and say hi. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review. You can subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. It really helps get our ratings up. Newsletter is halfway crafted and almost ready to go out, so be looking for that. You can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Bab 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders, Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. That Render is Fire shirt, which you are only allowed to wear, ironically. And
Unless you're shams.
unless you're shams.
Oh,
and
you didn't say
I
it.
forgot.
Ah,
And then
yeah, you did.
also, we got these new shirts. I got mine. I got like a long sleeve and a regular version of the Mograph graphic blandishment shirt.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out that.
All right, I'm gonna disappear, guys.
Okay.
All right, cool. Send
I'll
me your
talk to you soon.
file. Love you. Bye.
I will.
All
Love you
right.
guys.
All right. Bye.
And you can find Casey at xkcx.com. He is what's his name? Vader? He's what?
Darth Casey.
Darth Casey. I was gonna say Dank
Yep.
Vader, but no.
Dank Vader.
Dank Vader. All right. I think that's about it. So hit us up. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, mograph.com, and thanks, Casey.
Yeah.
It's fun. If you're listening, he's
Yeah.
paused in the middle box. It's really funny.
Yeah.
We could just mess with him a little bit, and just like
Yep.
poke him in the eyeball and stuff.
My name is Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey. I'll move it around.
Casey.
Hello. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Next week, as far as next week's show, we're 99% sure that Nick will be on. I'm gonna double verify that. As soon as you see it in social promos, it's real. If not, we're gonna take a week off because
Yeah.
we need a breather. So just
Yeah.
watch for that. However, if you're listening on the podcast, if we do take a week off, we'll still put the live show feed from the fireside chat in there, so you can listen
Yeah.
to that instead. So on
Yep.
your commute or non-commute, depending.
Yep.
So yeah, that about wraps it up. Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
Have a good
I'm
one.
Casey.
Oh yeah, I'm Casey. Howdy ho. He's Mr. Hanky all of a sudden. All right. Talk to y'all later. Have a good
All
one.
right, later, yo. It was so much fun being on the show. Thanks, guys.
You guys sure are awesome.
I want to send all my work to you guys.
Don't forget to bring your towel. Oh wait, that's the wrong one.
Mr. Hanky. Dude, is Mr. Hanky and Howley the same person?
Never seen him in the same room, so.